G'day everyone and welcome back. I'm going to do another little Thrifty Thursday. So I've got here 2 antique stores worth of things that I picked up. So this one here is just a small bit that I picked up. I had to go north for a funeral earlier a few weeks ago, or whenever this comes out, so I don't even when. But I had to go up north for a funeral, and I knew that there was an antique store that's been in business for 50 odd years, was closing down. And I thought I'll just pop in and see what they had. And obviously couldn't buy much because I only went up with carry-on luggage because I was just up there to attend the funeral and to come home. So it was just a few little things. I did pick up, apart from this, I did pick up 2 rolls of, vintage wallpaper from probably the 60s. 70s, and that's still up there at my mum's, so I'll pick that up when I drive up there in the Christmas time. But yeah, so what did I pick up there? So the first thing I picked up was a whole bunch of postcards, and it was great because it was pretty much make an offer kind of thing. So I just went up to the counter and said, what do you want for all of this? And I had everything together, and it was 25 bucks. And for down here, that was awesome because you go into an antique store and try and buy one vintage postcard, and they're charging like an exorbitant amount, for it, $1 or more each just for one postcard. So I ended up with a few, and I got this one, which I'm going to try and replicate. I think I might try and make a version of it, but it's a little correspondence fold-up letter, so that you fold up and write your correspondence there, which I think is a great idea. And on the back, it's got a whole bunch of pictures. So I think I've got some paper that feels very similar to this, lightweight kind of stone feeling paper. So yeah, so we'll see what I can come up with that, because I like that little idea. And then some vintage Australian wildflowers. This one was pretty cool. It's a signed photograph. Thunderstorm over Cameron Corner. So yeah, so I grabbed that, which is kind of cool. It's just a card. Then picked up this one here, which is Venice, and it's basically a whole bunch of little information cards in all different languages, and then pictures on the back. So I thought they're cool, like tags. So I picked that up. And then we've got here Schönbrunn, which is, I can't pronounce it right, but it's a castle in Austria. But yeah, so it's a whole bunch of postcards for that. And another one here, just different postcards, but again, still of the vintage kind of realm that goes with it. So yeah, so I picked a bunch of them up. So that was pretty good. So this is all good. Like, I'm looking way over. Just to buy these separately at an antique store normally is way more. So Highland. These are some Australian ones that would have been from 1982 from the Commonwealth Games. So different ones that people had picked up to do with that. There's a few there. Brisbane. Then I've got Amsterdam. So again, another big bunch of postcards. And it's like rolling, more. Then some more. And then some here of the photos. And yeah. The nice little shiny ones. It's like, ooh, shiny. But yeah, so that's they're the postcards that I managed to pick up from that antique store. There was heaps there, but I was just like, I had a finite limit of stuff that I could put in my overnight bag. So that was that. Then I found this. This is awesome. I've got a few books. Obviously Edith Holden and other things like that. But this one is Brisbane is a Garden, which I thought is amazing. Obviously not far from where I'm at. And it was copyrighted in the 80s, I believe. So Jean Kelly. And you can see here that it is all about the sketches that go with it. 1982 copyright, but this one's 1988. And it's just all watercolour and sketch of Australian natives and buildings around the Brisbane area. And I was like, yeah. So that was a cool find. So picked that up. Like, had so many books there, and I was like, none of them. I think I did end up with a couple more books, but I had to leave them behind because they were a bit bigger. But I'll pick them up when I go up. Can't even remember what they were now, but they weren't anything crazy. Then I've got the Nickel Bulletin, 1946 and 1949, if anyone wanted to know about the nickel. But basically, cool tables and science information, which about alloys and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And obviously these are all copyright free now, being in at the age of them. So that was awesome. And then these were the find. So I couldn't bring them all home, but I grabbed a good chunk. But these are from 1925 and around that. And they're basically the Etude, so the monthly journal for musicians. But let's have a look at these. I'm only going to go through one. But we've got a whole lot of advertisements, so which is also on its own pretty cool. It's a whole lot of different music-related advertisements. And then as you get through towards the middle, you start to have some information, and then a whole lot of music sheets. And I'm like, okay, cool, just good for collage and so forth. Again, more advertisements, and yeah. So got a few of them. There's some nice like some of them are pretty cool. I was having a bit of a squeeze through them, and I was like, oh, yeah, but they're all pretty much the same kind of thing. Yeah, so picked up a few of them. So that was another nice little find. So that was the antique store up north, and then what I'm going to show you next was I had found at an op shop, thrift shop, whatever you want to call it, some vintage looking frames and signs, and I thought they were reproductions, and I pulled them apart and they're not. And then when I went into an antique store with someone here locally, just have a look, they had a sign there, and I said, how much do you want for that? And they told me the price, and I was like, oh my god, because I got them. I got the frame because I wanted it for the frames, because they were reclaimed Sydney hardwood timber, the frames, and they told me the price, and I was like, okay. So I offered a trade. So I took in a few of the signs that I'd got, took them out of the frames because I wanted the frames, and this is our trade. So I got a whole lot of ephemera. So I've got the story of the Royal Journey from 1954. So all of that is here, and in Australia anything pre-1955 is copyright free, like public publications. It's a little bit different for artist publications and stuff like that, but yeah. Then I got a little Hop, Little Kangaroo, a little golden press book, 1973. It's a nice little Aussie Australian book. We've got the Mammoth Casket Art Union ticket, and from Townsville, and I don't know the actual date. I couldn't find the date on it, but it was obviously way older than it is now. Then we've got some plane tickets for flying on 1962. So there you go, 1962 plane ticket. There you go. So we've got them. Then we've got, this is cool. Right, so we've got Gigi, My Fair Lady, okay, and it is obviously the production book, and it makes me wonder if this was where they were going. I didn't actually look to see where they went. No. No, they come to here. They're flying home from Brizzy. But yeah, so obviously this is the production book from Gigi. This would, I imagine, I haven't looked, but you know, it's a quite a significant piece of ephemera. The unemployment relief tax from 1931 to 1932, an employee's schedule. So we've got a whole lot of things about the little stamps for relief tax. And yeah, so we've got all of them, and all the different calculations and so forth that go with that. So I was like, cool. Then in amongst all of this, we've got some scribbled on pieces of paper, which is okay. Now, obviously whoever this was owned a fish shop, a seafood store, because it's all about fish. So there's a lot of stuff in here about fish, just so you know. If you're into fishing, let me know. We might come up with a deal. I can send you some fishing related ephemera. But yeah, so we've got a little fish merchant thing there, a nice little envelope. We've got a little card, all with numbers on it. We've got sales count, 1934. Barbecue, I imagine that was back then too. A whole lot of other bits and pieces of paper ephemera. All aged. I think Department of Public Health, when they got fish condemned in 1932. It was condemned. They obviously bought some fish at the fish markets in Brisbane. And then we've got some delivery notes. Liquid sarsaparilla. Okay, so this is the, so there's some good recipes in here too, but this one's for rheumatism. And we've got some iodine, liquid sarsaparilla, salts. There you go. We've got the oyster merchants. About pulling some money. We've got the Queensland Government Gazette. All about fish prices in 1918. So these are the 1918 fish prices. Okay, and what you may buy or collect or something like that. And we've got another little thing. This is ginger cake and chocolate fudge cake, monkey pudding, and light dumplings. So some little recipes. We've got some authorization, so pharmacy authorization. Very old piece of corrugated board. Okay, and here we go into this stuff. So let's have a look. Alright, so we've got this one here. It's all about fish. Like I said, it's all about fish and oil and ice and stuff and kerosene and thing. But we've got, so these are all in the 1930s. So old ledger book from the 1930s there. And at the back, we've got some outgoing, so we have ingoing and outgoing. And then this random note, which I had a bit of a giggle about, by someone in 1971, and just started talking about her journey of employment and what she'd been given a go with and stuff like that. It was quite interesting, and I was like, okay. So I had a bit of a read of that random thing in a 1935 bookkeeping journal. Was this stuff about working in 1970s? And then we've got here again some more stuff. So this is about contracting for the home. And as we go through, there's just a lot of different things. The price of flowers, cures for rheumatoid arthritis, and then there's just lots of different little random like addresses and gallstones, how to get rid of gallstones, and honey cake, and just a whole lot of stuff. And then at the back is obviously their book of accounts, so people that have paid and when they've paid and what they owe and bought, so their book of accounts is there. So that is pretty cool. And if you're local to this area, you'd recognise a few of the names and stuff up here at Trace Coast. But so these were the little ephemera bits that I got from that little trade, and then I got some more stuff as well, which I will continue to show you. So I've got the Children's Australian Encyclopedia. Now the other day I showed you that I picked up a whole bunch of cigarette cards, but they weren't. They were from cereal box cards, or tea cards. And I looked, and one of the sets I have actually belongs to this, which is the irony of it, but not a complete set. But I do have a number of the pictures that belong in this book. Of all of them that I've got, there's some that belong in here. So I was like, that is pretty cool. So this one is from I think it was 1960. I think it was 1960. I can't remember. When I looked it up, and I think it was around the 1960s sometime. But yeah, it was like, okay, cool. So I had that. And then there were some home journals. So 1940s magazines. So we've got these, yeah, so 1940s home journals. So obviously looking at, oh, we've got some 4 free patterns. So there you go, I didn't even notice. I haven't gone through these, I only had a brief look. Oh, look at the illustrations. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at them, they're amazing. Wow. Some photos, free patterns. That is very cool. Some crochet ones. So I've got that one. Then I wonder if the patterns are in this one too. I don't imagine so. That was wow. Wasn't expecting to see that. Again, some more illustrations. Oh wait up, look at this. We've got supplement to the Australian Home Journal 1937. Koala bears. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, little things that you find when you start flicking through things. It's like, okay, this one's from 1937, Woman's Mirror, which I'll bring up in a bit. And we've got this one here. This looks like racewear or something like that. And oh, we've got some patterns in there that have been, so they actually made something from this because it's been cut into. I don't think you can even see the lines on it anymore. The printing, it's just empty pattern paper now. Or it might be there, I don't know. I'd have to have a look. Okay, then we've got the Women's Mirror from 1959. Children need pets, so do adults. That's what I reckon. Again, a whole lot of little things in there. Let's have a look. We've got the Sunday Mail magazine, June 16, 1946. We've got some old comics. So we've got an old Superman comic. There you go. Popeye. Ginger Meggs, Flash Gordon. Some crosswords. And then the First Lady of the Turf shows the speed that makes her an Australian champion mare. Flight. There you go. So, got that. That'd be cool if someone likes horses. Australian Women's Weekly, 1958. Little things. Got some pages from the Woman's Mirror, 1958. They might have just gotten ripped in amongst all this. So here's another one of those Women's Mirror, 1941. Bex. I used to love Bex. It was a, like, you know, pain relief. Oh, I need some Bex. I always used to think it was so cool when I used to watch Dad and Mum take it in the little sachet and swallow it. McAlpine's Test Kitchen Recipes. Now, established in 1939. I couldn't find an actual date on this, but there is no standard measurements. So, you know, I know that it's old. But we've got all of these little things from the McAlpine's Test Kitchen. What else have we got? Oh, this one was cool. The Real Estate Institute of Queensland Handbook and Diary from 1956. So in here is a whole lot of diaries, obviously diary pages, which would be great to put in journals, and then a whole lot of things about valuations and how to work out commission and all of that kind of stuff. So that was a cool little book. We've got something to do with recipes. Oh, here we go, daffodil mock cream. Oh, daffodil margarine. Oh, and it's old. I can tell by the phone number that it's old. There you go. Alright. Then we've got the 40 Thieves, Lancers, Melodies. There we go. I wonder if there's any of that, but we've got that little bit. Let's pull out this. The Girls' Own Annual. Paper magazine, and I think I worked out from this, I had to do it and I was like, oh, anyway, it's old. I think it might have been the 40s or 30s, no, even older. I had to work out by someone being born. It was in the 1900s, some queen of, or princess of Russia or something that they were talking about, and I googled the date and so forth, and it ended up being in the early 1900s. So we've got a whole bunch of these things here. We can tell by the fashions, the early spring styles. There we go. Yeah, so a whole lot of little things there. So I've got a whole collection of them. And then let's a lot of this stuff here isn't, this is just more retro kind of stuff. So we've got some old Better Homes and Gardens and things like that. I remember actually reading these back in the day. These are probably mine that I got rid of. Isn't it always the way you decide to get rid of stuff and then you're like, oh no, I should have kept that. The life of, you know, crafters. So I've got a whole bunch of them. The Complete Renovator's Guide. A free booklet. 92. Oh, that's cute. So yeah. So that is what I got for an exchange of some advertising boards. Those boards. I did keep one, however, of the advertising boards because it had what's her name? I don't know. Can't remember her name. Sid. Cerise. From the one she did with one of the ones she did with Frank Sinatra. But she was advertising stockings. I can't. But that is my little collection from the antique stores. I hope that you enjoyed having a bit of a squeeze along with me. I had a whole lot of old paper. I need to go wash my hands, and I can put this away now. I'm going to scan some items. I'll think about that. And, see if I can digitalize them. Oh my gosh, words, in some way. But yeah. All right, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of the little things that I picked up. What was your favourite little item that I managed to scrounge about and get my hands on? And I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.